Hey YouTubers, 95 Speed GTA here. Today I got a new garbage find, and that is a hexagon fish tank. I'm here with Albino Banana, and what we're going to do is, well, first we tested it, and turns out it has no leaks and there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to drain the water out of it. We were going to use the pump, but I found out that the pump is not submersible, so I'm going to have to do it by a bucket, which is going to be a real big pain in the ass, but whatever. So I'm going to start draining this tank out, and we're going to set it up, fill it up, see what kind of fish we could put in it, decide whether it's going to be fresh water or salt water, and take it from there. Okay, instead of using the bucket to take all the water out of it, we actually siphoned it out using a long hose.
It'll take like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Probably.
It's coming out slow. Okay, so whoever had this before, they used it for saltwater life, saltwater fish or whatever they had in here. So there's a lot of residue on it. There's also a lot of calcium on it. I chose to use the Simple Green all-purpose cleaner, and pretty much what I did was I sprayed in here a lot, especially on the edges because there's a lot of crust. And I just used a regular sponge, and I just worked in and out of the walls, just like that. You gotta be really thorough, and don't be surprised if you have to wash it a couple of times. But the most important thing is, when you use a cleaner like this, I'm pretty sure that there's other cleaners out there that are a little more friendly towards these things, especially if you're gonna have like a fish or whatever in there. But if you do decide to just use your household cleaners, you're gonna have to rinse the heck out of these things. And I suggest maybe about 4 or 5 rinses, but I got a lot of cleaning to do, and I'll get back to you when I start rinsing it. Alright, so pretty much we're at our first wash. It looks a lot cleaner than what it did. There's still some residue, so we're going to go ahead and give it a second wash. But we got a lot of the sand out. Now, usually when you're dealing with something like a tank this big, and especially in this shape, when it comes to rinsing the sand out, now I know there's just a little bit left in there, but it's always good to have somebody else behind it lifting it up as you're rinsing it out with your hose. So I'm going to go ahead and do a second wash and a final rinse on the inside and outside, and we're going to dry it off, and then we're going to set it up. So we're at our final wash, and we're going to do our final rinse. Everything has all suds on it, and we're going to do our final rinsing. Starting off with the inside. Now, when I do the outside, I'm going to do the inside again. I just want to get the majority of the suds taken out first. Alright, go ahead now. Now to get the outside. Now the outside you don't have to pay much mind to. You just, that's nice and clear. Wow, that came out good. Now we move on to the stand. Now, sometimes these things come with stands, sometimes they don't. I'm going over everything because the stand and the tank itself, I actually found in the garbage. And everything that I have right here was for free. So before you bring stuff into your house, especially garbage, always have a place outside and go through everything. Like we checked the tank, we filled it up with water, there was no leak. It was a great find. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. Now to the stand, because I guarantee you that that particular tank filled up is probably a couple 100 pounds. So at this tank, not tank, sorry, taking a look at this stand, it's press board, not one of the best, you know, construction materials, but it's in really good condition. There's a little bit of wear up on top, but it's good, and I don't see anything wrong with it, except for a little bit of wear and tear. It comes with a door where you can put all your electrical stuff, so there's no mess, no nothing. And we're going to pick a spot upstairs, and we're going to start setting it up. So once you get your stand up, you're going to want to find a place for it. Now, depending on where you live, apartment, house, or anything, it's pretty much your call. Your call on where you want to put it. Since this is this type of tank, this is the type of tank where if you can get away with it, you'd want to put this in the middle of the room. I'm putting mine in between my my couch and my chair, and it's going to look really good. I know you guys can't really get a general idea on what it's going to look like, but this is where the stand is going to go. And what you want to do one more time is, if there's some dust on it or anything, just take like a mild cleaner, like a window cleaner. Since this is press board, you want to be careful not to get the exposed press board wet, because if you get it wet, then it's going to start to swell, and the whole thing eventually, if it gets wet enough, is going to just fall apart. And something like this, holding up 300-400 pounds of water in a glass bowl, if this thing gives out, it's not really good, because all this is pressed wood and glue. Now let's get it going. So pretty much we got everything up here. We have the tank set to the base. Looks really, really good. The black base matches with all the rest of the furniture. Other than that, it's a totally solid structure. The only thing I have to do now is I gotta pick out rock and maybe some artificial plants, or maybe real plants. I don't know, I'm not sure. And I gotta get a filter, maybe a heater, one of those bubble air generators or whatever they are. I don't know exactly what it is. And also, I'm going to go to my local hardware store, and I'm going to make a hexagon cover for this thing. And that's it.
Okay, what we are doing now is filling the fish tank. We are using a little ghetto pump from a industrial air conditioner and pumping it from a sink in the bathroom with this tube we bought at Home Depot. And yeah.
Sorry. Since the bathroom is so far away,
this is very dangerous.
No, it's not. It's not dangerous, because I want to tell you a little bit about the pump. The pump is made by Flowtech, and what I originally bought this for is I have a portable air conditioner. Now, if you know the portable air conditioners, they have bucket and bucketless designs. So when I have mine on dehumidify mode, the bucket inside fills up really fast. That's why I got this. This has a trigger in it. These are basically for boilers. You can hook them up for boilers or whatever, and it's multi-purpose. So what happens is the condensation goes into here, and once it fills up, it triggers a switch inside, which forces the water out. Cut off the water supply, it turns off. Put it back on, it'll kick on in about a minute. As soon as it hits the switch. This will run you about 75 to 100 bucks, depending on where you buy it. This is really, really good for what we're doing, because if you're unable to lift up buckets and stuff like that, this is really good, because you can run the hose right over to it. You don't have to go with the bucket back and forth. So that's basically what it is.